Yes, it's time for a new raw video because this morning I basically went for my morning run. As most of you guys know, I am running a lot, and that's basically because I'm preparing myself for a marathon in Madrid in 4 weeks from now, 4 weeks and 2 days. And it's actually going pretty well. But I came to realize a few things this morning. Normally, I run always like, with AirPods, music on or a podcast or whatever it is. This morning, as it was like 6:50 a.m. when I started to run, I thought, I'm just gonna run without any music, without any kind of input to actually have more output from myself. And it went really well because I came to realize a few things during my run, also to, prepare my things for my business that I would like to and actually have done already today in order to accomplish like new things. But yeah, it's actually super interesting. A few things that I came to realize, and that is going to be basically being told in this video. It's going to be super exciting, I think, for those who are like looking for, how to, for example, build confidence, how you can actually get like the little wins in life result into your big wins over time, and how that will compound. There are a few very important things, few topics about it. I wrote it down. I just brainstormed this morning when I got back. Hey, this is something I would like to tell people. This is something I would like to share. That's what I'm going to do in this new raw video. I got a lot of great reactions from people on my earlier videos, um, and it's only getting better and better, of course, by time. New topics will be announced. I will see over time in the comments as well on YouTube what kind of topics you guys like where I talk about, and I will elaborate more on those specific things. And just like now, when I thought, hey, let's just grab my phone, let's just film myself and talk about basically the things that I basically came up with this morning, which I have basically stacked up in my laptop as well. But yeah, there are a few very important things here, because the first thing I got a lot of times, so basically the questions from people, okay, how do I build confidence? Can you talk about that? Because they are either like they're lacking confidence, and it can be something that is coming from maybe their family, or they how they have been raised from their past. If you're like a bit more mature, like all those kind of things, you know come together in building confidence. But building confidence is not something that will just happen like overnight or something. That's a process. And what I mean with that, I will elaborate more on it. It's about like sticking to your words. Because this morning, for example, that's also why I came up with this, is that I was running, and normally I see like a bunch of people out there running, super excited, or they are walking with their family. Like there's one path where a lot of people come together. They like in the morning, there are so many people that sometimes I need to just like you do, go left, right in order to, um, not let's say hit them during my run. But this morning, no one was there, and I thought, why is that? It was raining. It's basically Good Friday today. You guys will see this video a bit later, but I came to realize that people, of course, they like to be like walking here in Spain specifically. Um, of course, in a good environment with good weather, right? But what I saw is that like most people that I always see, even people who are like looking 10 times like maybe fitter, they who are maybe fitter than I am, I don't know, or let's say who run way longer than I do. Um, they were not there, and normally they would be there at the exact same time that I normally run on Friday morning, and they were not there because might be they're with family. It's Good Friday, can happen, right? But the thing is, it doesn't really matter how you feel about it, if it's raining or not. How you build confidence is by doing the things that you tell yourself you're gonna do and actually do it. That will build result, and those results from the actions that you do on a daily basis, that is what's gonna build you the confidence. Confidence is not something that comes from like doing nothing, maybe snoozing, hitting the snooze button, sleeping in, like on the days that you maybe told yourself, okay, hey, I'm gonna for going for that run on a Friday morning that you always do, and then you basically lack one time. Then you're actually telling yourself you allow it, that you basically cheat. And one thing that I have like basically have like prevented my entire, let's say, life is actually cheating. Because cheating, that will not only hunt you by time, but also maybe like, and it sounds pretty far, but also your family. And what do I mean by that? If you're, for example, super young right now, or you don't have a family like I do, like I don't have, for example, I don't have a wife, I don't have kids, whatever it is, right? And I am like lacking, I'm allowing myself to slack over time or to cheat on, let's say, not doing the things that I tell myself to do, right? Then that will also affect your kids later on because you will build a behavior on that, maybe unconsciously. And that is going to basically determine as well how your kids will be like going through life, how they will experience different things. Um, so it's like with that, it's not only about you. And most people think, I don't like people, it doesn't really matter how people think if I show up or not. Of course, no, it doesn't matter. But what does matter is how will that affect the people maybe around you, and more importantly yourself. Because if you slack one time, most likely you're also going to allow yourself to do that more often. And when you allow yourself to do that more often, by time you will not get the results that you could have had when you did the things that you should be doing, right? And that is so important, that all starts with sticking to your words. If you tell yourself you're going to do it and it's raining, for example, like this morning was heavily raining, I can tell you that, but you don't do it, then you allow yourself your next time as well when it's raining, I've done it once, I will do it another time, and you will do it another time, and you will do it another time, right? And that's basically something that will not only affect you, of course, but also the way how you are as a person, your character, if you actually stick to your words over time. And more importantly, how that will affect your future family if you're young, or maybe your family right now, because they will look up to you as a father, as a mother, or whatever you are. Because like how you do one thing, of course, is how you do everything, but how you show up for yourself is also how you show up for your family, because you cannot help someone else if you cannot help yourself first, right? If you go in a plane, the people always tell you like, first pull up your like life safe jacket for yourself before you can do it for someone else. Why? Because you cannot help someone else if you're dying first, right? You need to first take care of yourself in that situation in order to then help others. It's not the other way around. So how do you build confidence? Like, sticking to that, by sticking to your word, by doing the things you tell yourself you're going to do. Because by time, and maybe not in the beginning, you will, with the consistency, you will build up confidence by the results that you will produce. If you work out every single day, you eat clean, all the things you do well in order to achieve your goal, which is maybe losing 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, or to maybe run a marathon. If you're actually doing the work that you should be doing, you will build up so much confidence over time that basically the results will speak for itself, that give you that confidence, right? And it doesn't really matter how you feel about it, because I think honestly life is not about, let's say, being happy all the time, or feeling good about the things that you should be doing. Because sometimes you just need the things, you need to do the things basically to grow, right? Because I believe that life is not about happiness only, because no one is actually like happy all the time. If you pursue happiness, you're pursuing something that's not tangible, that's something that comes and goes, it's a feeling, right? And the feelings, that's not something you can chase. What you can change is how you show up for yourself, that will make you feel happy. That's basically where it all starts, and that's also the same for confidence. So like I also wrote down here, life is not happy, about being happy all the time. It's about the growth. That's basically where I thought about, because happiness comes and goes. Like I said, it's a feeling, and that feeling you will get by showing up for yourself, by doing the things where you will be, where you, in order to become happy, right? So doing the things that will make you happy, not by thinking that you would be happy and then, uh, let's say, you expect to be happy all the time. No one is that, like, I can tell you that. So chasing happiness is not something you can do. It's not something that is tangible. It's not something that will allow you to be more happy, because it's just not there. And that's also why I think, sticking to your word, like I said, is super important. Not only chasing happiness is super important because you will focus on the things, because you should focus on the things that will make you happy. And that's basically how you can build that up. The same with confidence. Um, I also thought about it this morning is that, I'm just looking at it here because I've so many things that I wrote down, like brainstorming right after the run, was about self doubt, right? Because in the beginning, I can tell you, like, I was super inconfident person. Um, and that is because I doubted myself a lot. And maybe you guys are doing it yourself as well. I'm sometimes even doing it myself in the things that I still be doing because it's something, I was supposed to do, used to do, like almost every day. I doubted myself in everything I did. I was so strict for myself. And that's not something bad, but by time it can also work the opposite way. And that is that, like, self doubt is way more dangerous than, let's say, 100 or maybe 1,000 people doubting you, because that is between your ears what you tell yourself, right? And the way how you basically accept the things that people tell you, that is completely in control of yourself. You can control that. You can consume it. You can do whatever you want with it. You can tell Henry, who's maybe telling you, oh, you're not good at this, you're not good at that. You can tell him, okay, perfect, like whatever you want, that's your opinion. You can do it whatever you want with it. It's basically the way how you respond to the things that people tell you. But what is more important is the stories that you tell yourself. Because if you tell yourself that you're not capable of doing XYZ, you will never be able to do the things that are, that you should be doing, that are required to achieve that thing that you want to achieve. And if you like doubt yourself, most likely you will not be able and not even start doing the things that you maybe want to do, but you don't do it because you think you're not capable of achieving it eventually. So you will never even start. And that's, why it's so important that, let's say, the conversation between your ears is, like, it doesn't need to always be positive, but at least something that helps you up, right? Because why would you even start in the first place if you don't believe in yourself? So if you talk like positively against yourself in ways that will, make you better, and just be very honest with yourself, if you're lacking at something and it's the truth, that you tell yourself that you're not there yet, not that you're not there and you will never be there. If you're not there yet, doesn't mean that you cannot get there. But that's, again, that starts with, doing the things that you should be doing in order to get the results, to gain more confidence, to gain more, let's say, to have less self-doubt and more confidence in your capabilities. So it all comes together. And that's basically what people oversee most of the times, that, like, the smaller things in life does not, let's say, is not in line with the rest. But that is not true, because all these small wins that you stack up over time in a day, like even the smallest things, that will have a result on the things that you will do in the rest of your day, in the rest of the actions that you will take in a day, or maybe the inactions, because you're not thinking you're able or capable of achieving it. So I once read as well, in a book, about the confidence competence loop. And what that means, of course, your competence, basically what you're competent of, your ability, your knowledge, your skill set, all those things, right? And the confidence competence loops basically means that the confidence goes up, right? Your confidence can go up by, getting the results and everything, the more competent you are. In order to achieve results, you should be able to have maybe a certain skill set for something you would like to achieve, right? Because you cannot, let's say, expect to be, let's say, the top scorer of, let's say, Real Madrid, by not having the capabilities of even, kicking a ball, right? You need to be capable of, like, that's a very strange kind of example, but you need to be capable of, like, at least doing something that is related to that thing you want to achieve in order to do that. And that's by gaining knowledge, by reading books, by like acquiring skill sets, by, if you want to get, like, to if you want to be the next Mr. Olympica, or how you call it, like, for bodybuilding, then you need to make sure that you're actually doing the work in the gym, by, like, every single day without skipping a beat, because your competition is not going to slack. And that way basically outperforming you. So you're doing the things that are required and more in order to achieve it. And that is by actually, doing the things in a daily basis, the small things that matter in order to achieve the big things as an outcome. So with that being said as well, the more confidence you have by doing those like things, getting the results, right? The more competence, the more the competence goes up, and that's basically the confidence competence loop. So like I said, it all comes together, and that's basically where I was just thinking about so many things during my runs. So yeah, that's basically something I would like to share, because the more like the little wins you will stack, right? The more little wins, let's say, the more you stack those wins, like the small things in, let's say, during the day, the more little wins you will stack over time as well. So like that starts with like the smallest things by stacking those wins. It doesn't need to be like changing the world or whatever. It can be something small in order to achieve big. And that's the same, when you go, for example, right now I'm training for a marathon. I'm doing so many work, like so many hours, running more than 100 kilometers in volume per week to, just run one time a marathon, a 42K, within a specific time. My goal would below 3 hours 15 minutes. And that's something that, like, see, acquires so much of work in order to achieve one run. But that's not about only the run, what people think. It's about, like, the journey. It's about, it basically, I'm getting stronger every single day by just doing the work, right? By showing up for myself. This morning I felt so bad, I didn't want to do it. I thought, oh fuck, man. There was one, sorry for my words, but there was one, like, voice in my head, like, that wants to keep me small, that's telling me, oh no, you don't need to do that. You can just, you can go to bed. You can just hit the snooze button at 6 a.m, go to bed, sleep in, whatever. But the other part, that's basically what I've built over time, right? By just doing the things every single time I don't want to do it. By never clicking on the snooze button. I don't even allow it. It's not even an option for me. So that small, like, little voice in my head, they can keep talking, but I don't, let's say, I don't listen to it. It's not something I'm listening to anymore. Even though maybe I did it like 5, 6 years ago. I don't do it. I don't allow it because I know it's not giving me the results I want over time. And it's like I said, so the marathon itself is also a mental game. It's not only about, like, if you want to achieve something, it's not only about the achievement itself, it's about all the other things that you will acquire over time. And that's why the journey is so important, because if you want to achieve a result, most likely you will achieve so many more things, like smaller things on the side, that you will take with you on that journey, that will get you stronger in order to achieve it. And by time, instead of like only having achieved that thing that you want to achieve, you've gained so many more knowledge, so many more experience, so many more skill sets, and just strength, mental strength, but physical strength as well, if you do something physical, that will, like, say, benefit you in the rest of the life. Like last week I was running, and this is an interesting story. I was running. I was feeling really sick in a way of, I really needed to go to the toilet, like really bad, but there was no toilet besides me. So, and I just needed to run like 9 more kilometers. I had 10, no, I had 11 done. And I thought, okay, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna quit right now, or I'm gonna just run. And I thought, I know, put your ego on the side. And there was basically that little voice in my head, right? You can put your ego on the side. You can go right now. You don't need it. You've done it so many times. But if I let that slip in, I would allow it another time and another time and another time. And that's basically maybe 3 times when I would allow it, that I will be, let's say, underperforming, and that will not give me my results, at least at the best potential that I could have been. So I was thinking about this concept of writing a book. Okay. And what that means, you can apply this actually to everything. Like, if you're writing a book, you can write one chapter by doing the thing, maybe fall short, and you wrote down, like, if you want to write a book, you've wrote a chapter. If you want to build the entire book, if you want to build a legacy, you need to be doing the thing that you tell yourself you're going to do every single time. And in the beginning it might be so hard if you're not used to it, but by time you will kick on it. It will feel so good because you by the time at the end you can laugh, you can, you will feel better, you will build the confidence, you will have everything that will allow you to become a better person. And by just writing it like a chapter, no one is going to read that. If you buy it, then will basically buy, not buy, if you will read, if you will write the entire book, that is something people will look up for, right? Because that's something that can go like, that can come in a newspaper when you write an entire journey. Because what I have experienced during that specific run, when I needed to go 9 more kilometers, those 9 kilometers, I gained more strength, more confidence, more power, and like me being capable of achieving so much more, understanding that, than in the first 10, 11K, because those nine were super tough, but I have achieved it. And now I know it doesn't matter, if it comes up again, because I know I can achieve it. Because I can tell you, if you need to go to the toilet and you can basically withstand that, then you're able to, to do so much more, because it's super hard, I can tell you that. But besides that, super strange story, super quick, but that's coming together as well in this short video. I thought, just grab my phone, just share it with you guys. I hope it can be of some, let's say, of value. And like I mentioned earlier as well, if there are more things you want me to talk about these specific topics, just let me know in the comments, or on my Instagram DMs. I would be very happy to help. And from there on, looking forward to see you guys in the next video.